Hello everyone, this is Zooc and today I'm bringing you a new drawing video. This one is going to be the Queen of Pain from Dota 2. But it's not going to be the exact same model as the hero. I decided to redesign it and give it some more, I guess, natural proportions, some more realistic proportions, because the one in game is very short and kind of disproportionate when it comes to body parts. So yeah, I just wanted to get a little bit more creative and just make it different, I suppose. So this one is going to be the same style of illustration that I've done the zombie one in. It's not going to have actual painting because, I don't know, just spicing it up, I suppose. So I'm going to read the bio for the hero and then we'll talk about some other stuff. This is the Queen of Pain. The ecclesiast king of Elzy nursed a desire for pain, forbidden pain. In a less prominent political figure, such desires might be considered unwise, but in a monarch of his stature, to satisfy such thirsts would have but threatened the virtue of the divine throne itself. Therefore he turned to his dungeon full of demonologists, promising freedom to whoever could summon a personal succubus of torment and bind it entirely to his service. The creature who arrived, Akasha by name, visited upon him such exquisite torments that he named her his secret queen, and he began to spend all his spare moments submitting to her clever torments, eventually abdicating all his responsibilities in his pursuit of the painful pleasures that only she could bring. Period. Yes. Queen of Pain could bring him to the brink of death, but she was rune-bound to keep him alive. At last the king's neglect of state brought on an uprising. He was dragged from his chamber and hurled from the Tower of Invocations, and at the moment of death Queen of Pain was let loose into the world, freed from the servitude, free to visit her sufferings on anyone she deigned to notice. So quite the interesting BDSM story there. Obviously that's what it's talking about. The king was a very big fan of, well, he was a masochist, and the Queen of Pain was his solution to his so-called issues. Yes, some people dig that sort of shit. So let's talk about the drawing. Of course, it's a woman. You know, things usually go wrong with me when I try to draw women. It's been happening over and over again. But hey, the only way to actually get it right is to practice and possibly, eventually, hopefully, manage to come up with something that looks like a woman, because the problem with me is most women I make look like men. They look like transvestites. So that's a problem, and I've noticed it before, and I hope I haven't been looking at this too long to not notice it, because I don't think it looks like a man, but on the other hand, I've been looking at it for 10 hours. That's how long the drawing actually took, and yeah, I don't know. It depends. I can't see a man, but other people might be able to. So hopefully that's not a thing right now. But it was, of course, fun to draw. I promised I wouldn't watch Game of Thrones until I got finished with this drawing, and so I kind of hurried as much as I could, but in the end it still took quite a bit of time. But you know, I could never sit there and draw for 10 hours with a pencil and a paper. So I guess it's good that I can actually put in the time on the tablet and not feel incredibly bored of it. And I'm not bored so far, which is good. Usually I get bored of things within, you know, a few uses. The first few uses, if it doesn't catch me, then that's it. It's done. But the tablet is something that I want to get better at. So yeah, I'm not bored of it. So let's talk about holidays. We had Easter here. Nothing really special, just spent a bit of time with the family, made some cakes and ate some lamb and the usual shit. And then we went out with my friends to get some drinks on Easter Day. That's, I was surprised to actually find the pubs open, but guess what? They were packed. So people do go out on Easter and get smashed. A few hundred people ended up in the hospital over here in Romania, which is quite common every time there's a holiday. A lot of people either end up in church where it's really hot and there's no proper air conditioning or anything like that, so they faint and they end up in the hospital, or they gorge on so much food and booze that they go into a food coma and they have to be dragged to the hospital to get their stomach pumped, which is, I mean, I don't understand that. I've never been at the point where I would end up in the hospital, and I love to eat. I mean, I will devour a lot of food at once. But still, I don't understand how some people can eat so much that they have to get their stomach pumped. That to me is just moronic, really. But it happens every Christmas, every Easter, every time there's a holiday centered around sitting down with your family and eating. People end up in the hospital. A lot of them. So I guess it's the poor man's mentality. Like, oh, you got the opportunity to eat as much as you want. You know, you gathered money for like 3 months and then you spent it all on one meal. Might as well make the best of it and like gorge yourself on as much food as possible, as if it'll last you longer. Because it doesn't, you know, no matter how much food you eat, it won't really last you that much longer. So, yeah, it's a thing. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed the drawing, and I do hope it doesn't end up looking like a man. I really don't see a man in it. But I've said that about every woman I've drawn so far, so I don't know. But in any case, please rate that shit, share it with your friends, whatever the fuck. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.